Opening the door to one of the bedrooms in his magnificent palace, the prince saw his wife, Maria, passionately kissing Don Fabrizio. Rage boiled in the young prince. He took a knife and stabbed both Maria and Fabrizio to death. The prince was no other than famed music composer and ruler Gesualdo da Venosa. Hi, I am Bibi Pelic and welcome to the Untold Music Stories. Music stories are like fairy tales that capture our imagination. In this episode, you'll hear the story of Carlo Gesualdo, Prince of Venosa, whose extraordinary life and personal drama was just more than a fairy tale. Born in Naples, Carlo Gesualdo was destined to greatness. He came from an influential aristocratic family. His mother was niece of the Pope. His uncle, Archbishop of Naples. In the 16th century, having such famous relatives was quite a big thing. As a young man, Gesualdo lived the typical life of a Renaissance aristocrat. As the second son to the Prince of Venosa, he was not expected to inherit the title, so Gesualdo, following the footsteps of his family, seriously considered a career in the church. Carlo also loved music. He was an accomplished lute player, but could also pick up the guitar and harpsichord. A turning point in Gesualdo's life happened upon the death of his older brother. Gesualdo now became the heir to his father's title, Prince of Venosa. The first thing his family now expected of him was to marry and produce the next heir, the next prince. He didn't go very far to choose a wife. She was his very own cousin, the beautiful Donna Maria d'Avalos. Donna Maria was not very happy in their marriage, it seems, and possibly not even in love with Gesualdo himself. Some years later, into her marriage, she began a passionate love affair with Don Fabrizio Carafa. Gesualdo had his suspicions for some time, and one fateful night on October 16, 1519, burst into the bedroom and, finding them together, stabbed them both to death. Gesualdo's rage was so big that after leaving the bedroom, he returned once more to check if they were really dead. The double murder caused a scandal the likes of Naples had rarely seen. Many wanted Gesualdo hanging and paying for this murder, but in 16th century Italy, an aristocrat could get away with many things, murder included. The court, called the Gran Corte della Vicaria, found Gesualdo not guilty. After the whole torrid affair, Gesualdo retreated to his family estate in Venosa, finding solace in his first big love, music. His life was soon to change, as a year later, after the murders, his father died, and Gesualdo became the new Prince of Venosa. As the new prince, he was now looking for a new wife. The question was, however, who would marry a man who murdered his wife? Gesualdo found her in Ferrara, a picturesque town in northern Italy. Leonora d'Este was a suitable match, as she was the niece of the very powerful Alfonso, the Duke of Ferrara. But there was another, perhaps even stronger reason for Gesualdo to travel north. Ferrara was known as a flourishing music and art center. In 1594, Gesualdo traveled to Ferrara for his wedding. Now, as Leonora's husband, he was a member of Ferrara's glittering court and musical elite. Gesualdo was mesmerized. Ferrara was one of the centers of Renaissance music. The Renaissance was an exciting time for musicians and artists who possessed new creative forces. Embracing the strong creative vibes in Ferrara's innovative and progressive environment, Gesualdo started composing madrigals, a song form that was very popular at the time. Opposed to religious music, madrigals were regarded as not just amusement, but an artistic form. Gesualdo poured in his passionate temperament, composing his first set of madrigals while still in Ferrara. Gesualdo stayed in Ferrara for over 2 years. In 1597, he took his new wife and baby son Alfonsino home to Venosa. Back in Venosa, serious cracks were appearing in his marriage. Leonora accused him of abuse. Sadly, their young son died shortly, and Gesualdo, ever more, retreated into his own dark, gloomy world. His only consolation was music. Gesualdo expressed his own emotional world, his perverse inner feelings and violent personalities in his madrigals, in a way never heard before. He used dissonance and chromaticism, unexpected and sudden modulations, reminding us of music of much later times. Gesualdo, in keeping up with the Renaissance spirit, was daring enough to try them out. No doubt his southern temperament had something to do with it. Lonely on the edge of madness, Gesualdo died at the young age of 47. Gesualdo turned out to be one of the most complexly imaginative composers of the late Renaissance, indeed, perhaps, of all musical history. Gesualdo was a trailblazer, bending the rules of music making, unmatched for centuries to come. The one lingering question is, had Gesualdo not committed the murders, would we still know about him? If he had not written such shocking music, would we care about his deeds? One thing we know, Gesualdo captures our imagination like never before. Thanks for watching. If you've liked this video, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for our next episode of the Untold Music Stories. J.S. Bach Goes to Prison.